So which version of Roy are we going to get today? Are we going to get 15 lessons and fundamentals back to back? Is Roy going to go Tasmanian devil and just start calling out the prophet? What kind of day is it going to be, people? And I'll answer that for you right now. First, when it comes to the markets, I think it's going to be a very chill day. I mean, obviously, we had GDP released today. You guys can see GDP came out way better than expected. That is bullish. I believe this actually might be the entry that we were waiting for. Ladies and gents, ladies and gents, ladies and gents, ladies and gents. I don't know how much easier I can make this, but we got two floors. First floor got touched. And I'm doing all this analysis live. I'm just going to be honest with you. This is beautiful 88.6 rejection right here. I would like to see one more retest. Of 18,270. One more test of the session lows. So we were either looking at the lows of the Asian session right here, or what we'd call like the true daily low, which is here in London. Either way, market came through, grabbed liquidity from both of those zones, and then ended up closing back above the Asia session lows. So I think when price gets back down here, if we hold this zone, very good chance that's going to be our best entry. We're going to use fibs and structure to find the next take profit levels. So what I will do is, oh my God, how does it get better? Do you guys see what I just did? I drew my fibs. I found the negative 61 extension. But before I drew the negative 61 extension, I had already found the structural levels that I wanted to target. And look, negative 61 lines up perfectly with the previous daily high from yesterday's New York session. Go ahead and adjust that take profit level right there. Beautiful 2.5 to 1 R. We probably don't even need that. Let's go straight to the 1.27. Maybe just under 3.3. And then the second option would be from this swing low to the high, which would put us right here. Go ahead and line that up with price action as well. You can see there's a beautiful break right here. Beautiful rejection. Liquidity grab through, and then retest and touch. Okay, pretty solid zone right there. Get rid of all the fibs. And what we're left with is a beautiful masterpiece. Two potential options for long entries at a discounted price. Make sense? Any questions, comments, concerns? All right. Do I think the market will come back for one more test? What do you guys think? If you know me, you know me. Do you guys think what? Do you guys think I'm going to? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. Wow. Talk about accuracy of the entry and accuracy of the exit. My God. Now, was I in this trade? No shot. No chance. We just hit a previous double top. This is typically when you see the retest. And I'd like to see a bit of a break through that daily low from, God, well, when was this? 21st of March from last week. The zone I would be watching for is 39,650. 39,650. Now, this is a little bit challenging because I will never buy at a previous all-time high resistance. What we can see here is that there's a small, like artificial floor that's been formed. And so same thing with NASDAQ is you either get a shallow retest off of this local structure. So you have the pre-session kind of consolidating range. You have that true daily low. You have the expansion during market open, retest of that same exact zone, and potential continuation. I wouldn't even like that's a possibility. That's why I explained it, but I would not entertain that entry at all. I would much rather see a break and violation through the true daily low, retest of a higher time frame level, and then from that higher time frame level, really get enough steam to continue to the upside. So what I'm going to do is actually set an alert here right below price, and I'm going to set an alert right above because I just want to know if the market breaks to either direction. All right, so shallow retest versus deep retest. Those are the two options I'm seeing. Very straightforward stuff. I do want to give a public message to TFT and their whole team. Obviously, they're going through a lot of stuff. Same with every other prop firm. If you guys are building in this space, do things the right way. Keep your head focused on the objective, which is making sure that whoever you're serving, the customers have exactly what they need to be successful. Run things as effectively as you can. Give up short-term money in exchange for that long-term trust and that long-term brand stability that you need. And that's kind of just what I would give to everybody who's in the middle of a very, very hard battle that they're going to have to go through. To the people that are waiting payouts and to the people that have been fucked over by a bunch of firms, look, first two times, not your fault. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth time, I don't care how many payouts they denied from you, 100% your fault. And this is a rite of passage for Forex traders or for day traders in general, is it starting to accept that full responsibility for your decisions. Who put a gun to your head and made you choose this broker? Now, when you chose this broker that you had no idea about, that you did not know about at all, or prop firm, substitute, whatever you want to substitute there, who put a gun to your head and told you to put more money than you're willing to lose in that platform? And it just goes on and on. It might not be, this is a saying that I tell folks all the time, and it's something that I live by. It might not be your fault, but it's your responsibility to fix it. It might not be your fault. It's your responsibility to make the best out of it. You got payouts pending and they're denied, and you were expecting that to change your whole life. Okay, let's take a lesson away here. Next time you're in a prop firm, you're floating $12,000 in payouts. You're like, oh, I'm just going to take a few more trades and then I'll request the payout. That means you've learned nothing from the experience. Now, if you make $3,000, $2,000, $100, and you're like, yep, pulling the payout. Every time I see money on the table, I'm pulling a payout. That shows that you've learned your lesson. So I know that things are tough. Guys, I've been fucked over more times than I can count, not just in the Forex space. I've been in crypto since 2014. I lost 2 Bitcoins in empty Gox. There was a lot of things I've had to learn over the years about which platforms to trust. So with all the things going on, instead of everybody piling on to the, yeah, fuck those guys campaign, ask yourself what you could have done better to put yourself in a position of success. Is it use a regulated broker that is approved in your country? Maybe. One hour. Put this on the 1 hour too. What? All right, we just need that retest now. This is a very, very straightforward trade today. Very straightforward trade, but I am looking for that pullback down. This I'm going to have to take, again, full accountability. I did show up a bit late and paying the price for it. I'm missing this trade. I'm not really worried about it. I used to be a lot more concerned with if I catching the trade of the day or whatever. I've seen enough in my life to realize the market will either come back to my entry or give me a better chance tomorrow. Missing a trade is not on the cards for me anymore. That phrase, that frame of reference of damn, what if it goes without me? That whole chain of thoughts that follow after the potential missing of a move does not cross my mind anymore. Because I don't even want the stress of, can I just say this honestly? I don't even want the stress of being in a position unless it's worth it. That's where I'm at with my life. So if I just take a trade for the sake of taking a trade and I can't really justify it, when I'm stressed out and it's interfering with the rest of the things I have to do today, I'll have to sit there and think to myself, why did I even entertain that trade? Wasn't even that good. And so to avoid a lot of like the damn, I should have entered sooner, or I think I entered too early, or whatever. Don't put your money at risk unless it's worth it. Said US 30 is psychotic. I would say US 30 is actually very, very straightforward. Like, dude, we're talking 886. We're talking from the low floor that got formed, touch, touch, liquidity grab. Okay, from bottom to top, 886, straight to the previous area of liquidity right here as the target. Let me get rid of this sign. You guys see that? You guys see how accurate that is? And then push straight above, fake at the 88.6 because they're dirty, and then beautiful double top. That's why I think that we can get a full retracement here because of this fake 88.6. A little blimp right here. Give me your stop loss. Now we can move. So I would say the only psychotic thing, it's not even psychotic. This is all very straightforward. And CA members, I'm going to explain this. I'm not going to use the exact fib that we use. I'm not going to say what kind of fib it was, but I'm going to try to explain this as generally as I can. Oh, I can't even explain that. Whoa, whoa. So one of my favorite confirmations is imagine the market makes an impulse in one direction, comes back to your, let's say your golden ratio fib level. Okay, let's assume it's the 61.8. The market will go just above the 61.8, which is sitting right here. It'll go just above it, and then it'll start to move. Or it might even come down to that zone and start to move. And everyone's like, oh, this is the trade. This is what I've been looking for. Starts to pile on. As the market gets more aggressive, less experienced traders pile on even heavier. Right? This is why I always try to urge people, get the best entry or just stay out of the trade. Because if you're going to start to chase into the trend, you either better have big money so that way you can capture a little bit of the move and just hop out, or you better have a very specific system for chasing momentum. Because most of the time, the market will hit that zone and start to move, pile in all the buy entries, and then come back for one grab, either to hit stop losses or stop profits, or to entice a bunch of short sellers to get in. Once that happens, this is typically when you see the recovery. So I believe that's what happened here is the market hit that predetermined key fib level, rejected a little bit, got people piling into the short side, grabbed their liquidity, and now it's going to make the move. Does that make sense? And so this is kind of like, folks will ask me, like, how did you confirm the sells even though it broke through your fib level, right? Is because that's one of the prerequisites. I'm not waiting for all of the confirmations to happen to take a trade. I'm looking for the early warning signs. So market gets close to my fib, starts to reject, early warning sign. I love to see it. Then it comes back and grabs liquidity through my zone. Another great confirmation sign. Love to see it. And then a recovery back above the first entry. Love to see it. Give me that retest, and I'm golden. That's the buy side example. The sell side example is showing itself here on US 30. Now, for the sake of not missing an entry on NAS, I'm going to cover gold real quick and then get back to the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, super secret magnet indicator, best in the world, greatest, undefeated, undisputed UFC heavyweight champ. Whoa, wrong stream. Best indicator in the world. All right, we hit that first magnet target at 21.95. Not only did we hit it once, not only did we hit it twice, not only did we break and then use it as support for the next leg up. But no, that is only what happened. Okay, those are the only three I got. Next zone of interest is 2-2. 2-2. Now, the thing about all trades or all just market movement, whenever you're in a trend, so we're bullish, and then you get this counter trend retracement. You get the counter trend retracement. The market comes up 80, let's call it around 90%, whatever that exact number might be. Maybe CA members can get creative and figure out what that is. So we are creating that lower high. We are at a major fib level. So we could either see the same thing that happened on US 30, which is a little blimp, and then get up to touch before we really release. This is what I'm expecting here from gold. Could we come through and break all the way down through the zone? Potentially. But we have a great area of liquidity sitting right here. And the magnet doesn't lie. So it's just a patience game at this point. All right, we've been monitoring gold's movement. I feel like this is like weather watching, like whale watching. Because I'm not trading this, but I am keeping pretty close tabs here. 886 entry, beautiful impulse, flag retracement down to the yup, TP, yup. And now we're getting pretty close to TP3. All right, did Roy just make a bunch of random noises and alliteration and not fully explain the trade? Kind of. Is it a tough balance to explain these trades in full detail without giving away the strategy? It's hard. Not making my life easier. Can you explain the magnet indicator? Super secret magnet indicator, can't find it anywhere else. The greatest indicator in the world, undefeated, undisputed. What part of that is unclear? iPhone. Also, if you guys are in the Zoom chat, please let me know who you're at if you don't have a name assigned. Not letting any jabronis find their way into the chats. I can't lose with gold. Holy. Well, Jeremy, stick around long enough, buddy. The market will humble you pretty quick. Unless you want me to do it. Because you're on the right stream. He said, the guy with the TFT tattoo probably is upset. Ah! Ah! Oh, oh, ouch. Scott, why? Then again, who the hell would get a tattoo of a prop firm? What the fuck is wrong with people? Wow, I'm trying to keep it copacetic this morning, but might get out of character. No, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If this is your first live stream ever, welcome back. If you guys are coming back to the channel, we're going to be covering some important news events today, including some updates on the key bridge that went down. Pretty good response system there, guys. Not a lot of casualties. They were able to limit the damage that was done with the bridge collapse. Awesome stuff. They reduced Donald Trump's bail down to 125 million from that 450 million dollar boogeyman that they tried to put on him early. What other news events we got over here? Guys, any big news events that you guys see? The obviously we're going to be covering the GDP report to see how that's impacting the economic situation. And then I want to address this sort of the two sides of the economic debate, which is the economy actually stable? And we're all just kind of like doomsday prepping for no reason, which is what the Democrats have been saying in order to win their election. The Republicans are saying, yep, unemployment is doing good, GDP doing good. Have you seen the price at the grocery stores? Inflation is still higher than sustainable for U.S. households. And so that's the two sides of the debate. One side is saying, hey, don't look over here. Everything is going perfectly fine. The other side is saying, have you seen the price of eggs? And I agree with them. Inflation is honestly out of control. It hasn't gotten any better. Then again, I do live in Miami, which is arguably going to be one of the most expensive cities in the country. He said, my bad is Justin. Oh, what's up, Justin? What's up? Stick around after I end the stream, Justin. I'll explain the super secret magnet indicator. Can't find it anywhere else except for this live stream. The Chart Addict super secret. Let me read the instruction manual. Magnet indicator, can't find it anywhere else. I'll explain that at the very end of the stream. All right. So, three things that we all got to keep in mind. This is what Jerome Powell had warned us about when it came to GDP. Number one, GDP has to outpace inflation in order for us to be able to service, in order for us to have an economy that's sustainable. As a rough number, GDP has to beat inflation. So right now we have a 3.2% in GDP annualized rate. And then I believe the current inflation rate is 3.7, but I could be wrong. Does anyone know the exact CPI release? Let's go March. Okay, that's the April 10th. So then the February numbers. All right, so we got 3.2% CPI, which is obviously a massive, like the CPI is the least accurate measure, and it's just getting shadier and shadier how they keep changing the goalpost on how to measure CPI. Whatever. We'll just use their number for now. We're about equal. Looking pretty good. Oh, 3.4, excuse me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 3.4% GDP and 3.2% inflation. Now we're looking pretty solid. Looking pretty solid in our ability to outpace the inflation growth. Why is GDP growth related to CPI? Because what would I say the direct impact? I guess I would say wage inflation would be the direct impact of an improving economy. So GDP is a measure of the production in your economy. It's the size or the measure of growth or shrinkage in your economy. Your economy is either growing or shrinking. And GDP is not just a measure of size because it'll tell you the total number of trillions of dollars of production, but the rate is what we're looking at right here. The percentage basis is the percentage of growth on a year-over-year basis. So is the economy growing or is the economy contracting? What we see here is that on a year-by-year basis, we're growing 3.4% compared to last year, which is good. You got this big, massive ship moving through the economic landscape. And the fact that it's still expanding and still making progress towards the goal, very impressive, shows a sign of stability. Number two, unemployment. Jerome Powell says that we have historically low unemployment rates. We can expect to see those start to take a hit as the year goes on. We have a 3.7% unemployment, meaning close to 96% of all the able-bodied, willing, non-institutional civilian population of workers has a job. You are an American at home with the capacity to work, the willingness and the ability to work. 96% of those folks have a job. Incredible. And then number three, Jerome Powell said to make sure to hit the link in the description to grab your seat to the NAS100 masterclass to learn this day trading strategy for yourself so you don't have to rely on these streams where I showed up 15 minutes late today. You could have caught this trade pre-market open just like I assume a lot of the Chart Addicts members might have done. So number three, head over to chartaddictsfx.com, click live classes to register your seat. People, there's only 4 days left to register your seat. Don't be a jabroni. Day of, hitting up my team saying, God, guys, God, I had no idea. Yeah, you got an idea. I'm screaming it from the rooftop. April 2nd. Wait, sorry, excuse me. April 1st. There it is. All right, those are the three announcements. Welcome everybody to the stream. We're going to be talking about GDP, a bunch of other news events. If you have any news events that are remotely related to markets, please mention those in the chats and we'll go through those. I can't lose. Okay, we already addressed that. Are you still doing shit for free? All jokes aside, thank you. Yo, Roy, you still doing this for free? French, hey, look. Every day I had to start praying to God and be grateful, right? So I can't get on these streams and just, fully be myself and just start getting, I got to put myself in other people's shoes. Are there going to be trolls on social media for the rest of the life? Yes. Are those people even real to me? Do I even consider them human? Do I even consider them real people? No. The whole concept of an NPC, that's how I see them. Okay, just one of those sort of like non-playable characters and just ignore the shit out of them. That's what's going to be able to help me stay balanced and stay grounded so I can do these streams for free. If there's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to keep it that way. That's how it's going to go. Anybody in the chat pay for the class this April 1st? Ryan is asking if anyone has paid for the class this April 1st. And if anyone's paid for previous classes, let them know. Ryan, what's the question if you have it? Just so we can get some folks to help out. Roy, today I feel like shit. I'm not in the mood to trade, and my mind just lost it. The TFT is gone. 400K funded account is what's worse. Months of hard work, no payout was given. NPL, look, I'm gonna fuck me. You know what? Never mind, bro. Yo, do not show up to these streams if you guys are pussy because I'm tired of policing my own speech. So you ask a question, I'm gonna give you guys honest answers. This is how the relationship's gonna go. If you get sensitive, you want to cry about it, invest in Kleenex. I heard they're a great company. NPL, stop fucking crying. Right? Oh, TFT is gone. Like it's a horrible day. I lost my 400K account. How the fuck did you not see this coming? You've been on this every single stream that I've done. All the prop firms have gone under. Why is it a surprise that they went under? Did you have a backup plan? So I don't want to put this back, like kind of kick you while you're down kind of situation. But this is not one of those, you're not a victim here. Okay. So I give sympathy to people who have been victimized. That's who my sympathy goes to. Not folks who have an issue with something. A lot of people online look at stuff, they got an issue with it. And they're like, oh, I don't agree with this. I'm going to pretend like I'm Jesus. And so I'm going to pretend like I'm perfect and I'm going to attack this thing here because I don't like it. Yeah, those folks, I don't give a fuck what you think. Now, folks who have been victimized by a company and genuinely not been paid out, even though they've been owed this thing and the company is fully solvent, that's a victim. Now, you saw all these ships sinking. We talked about Forex being dead and that futures were coming up in the next 2-3 months. We talked about the specific firms that have had the most trouble. Every social media platform is plagued with all of the reports of all these prop firms. And you did not see this coming. That is a wake-up call that you needed in order to become a successful trader. Because imagine that you don't see NFP coming up. Imagine you don't see that Jerome Powell is hitting the stage. Imagine you don't see the writing on the wall that markets are about to turn around. If you're going to have your head in the sand, folks, you have to accept the consequences. NPL, I'm not trying to make it seem like you had your head in the sand. But at the same time, TFT was the most obvious one that was dealing with troubles. And if you didn't see that one coming, then I really don't know what to tell you. Santiago, ask your mother how last night was. NAS about to close strongly bullish. Do you think it could still retest support? I don't play the I think and I feel game. Okay. Do I know it's going to come back and touch support? If I did, I'd be a trillionaire and I would not be on here, engaging in what I would consider kind of stupid questions. Okay. If I knew it was going to retest, I don't know. What I do know is that if it does retest and it rejects, I will enter a buy position. That's a hard fact. That's a certain fact. Will it come down here? None of us fucking know. Anyone trying to sell you that answer is lying to you. Will it reject this one or this one? We won't fucking know until it gets there. Anyone trying to sell you a certain answer is bullshitting you. So that is my style. Don't predict and don't react, but respond. April 1st, no April Fools missing the class. Yeah, that's why I got really mad because the original date was April 2nd. I hate doing shit on April 1st. I think April Fool's Day is about the most appropriately American holiday we can have, right? Because imagine a bunch of grown men thinking it's funny to like play pranks and shit like that. But you're fucking 38. Grow the fuck up, right? And so that I hate that holiday, but I tried to avoid it like the plague. Somebody on the team sent out an email with the wrong date. And so in order to avoid confusion, just decided to stick with it. That day don't even work for me. I'm busy as fuck on that day too. Just that futures, my guy. Yep. CA members, am I being too harsh on NPL when I answer this question? What do you guys think? Was that too harsh or was that just honest enough?
It'll be all right.
Could have been worse, right?
It's just a flesh wound.
It's not even a flesh wound, bro. This is accountability. Like people think that people mistake insults and accountability because they don't have it in their life, and everyone's become sensitive. So someone being like, "Hey, you did that thing wrong," it's like, "Oh my God, the whole world is gonna end. Oh, I did something wrong." Yeah, you fucked up. Welcome to the game. Now, if you can't handle someone telling you fucked up, you have zero chances at success. And so at that point, you got to make a choice: give up the idea of success or develop thick skin. And this is a great way to do it. This is a nice, safe space for you to do it. NPL, I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. Actually, I'm not. Grow the fuck up, but also take accountability. This is a learning lesson you will come back from and be stronger because of. You will be sharper and you will never get taken advantage of again. And that is a lesson best learned early and best learned inexpensively. Because imagine when you're the multimillionaire trader that you're born to be, and this happens to you with that firm. That's when it would really, really hurt. And so I'm glad that everyone gets to experience troubles early so you can learn and not make those mistakes later. Big two-step is in the house. Good to see you, my bro. What is a good profit percent? That's too general of a question. It depends on your trading strategy, your style, how often you're trading, your contract size. Well, not really the contract size when we're talking about percentages, but really it's just about your risk tolerance, your personality, and your system. Said show the charts, make me. I paid for it. I'm excited. I'm just trying to meet some people who are going to be there. Yeah, I don't know. People just don't like to respond in the chats. Like the folks that take the classes are not the ones that typically respond in the chats. And that's crazy because I expect to see the names and I don't see them. And they're like, yeah, I just usually watch it on the way to work or I'm usually at work when I'm watching. So that's what it is. He said invest in what? Cleaned. But I really wish sometimes I could just have like a real conversation. This is why we have the CA Zoom call. I'm only, you know what? Matter of fact, I don't even think I'm not even answering questions from YouTube anymore because you guys have had 218 chances. It'll be like 2 good questions during the streams. I really don't understand how that could happen. It's like all you got to do is just bring a question, be like, hey, I saw that the treasury swap lines between these 2 countries had gotten paused. What's the effect on currencies? Okay. Like, fuck me if I can just get one good question like that to make these streams stimulating. But no, it's like, yo, did you see what so-and-so did? Did you see what the so-and-so prop firm did? Bro, check NAS. Bro, check this. Fucking hell. Those who adapt survives. Amen to that, James. It's not the smartest or the strongest that survive. It's those who are the most able to adapt to changing circumstances. I said, was that too harsh? He said, nope, get him. All right. That's a little bit too encouraging, Roman. I don't need fucking, yeah, get his ass. Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. All right. That's not the culture. That's not what we're doing here. No, if he's been at all the calls, Josh, it's not even a poke. You feel me, bro? You know what a real flesh wound looks like? Fam, I was in a group chat with all the people I used to trade with. This is back in 2017. And funny enough, I'm at dinner with the same with this person last night. He's my OG. His name is Lasaldo Tavares. He used to be an educator at IM, one of the only people I really kind of stuck close to. And I used to post up 15 charts a day, all different pairs. This is what my watch list used to look like. I would go through all the euros. And after I was done with every single euro, even the minors and even the minor crosses and some of the exotics, I'd go to the pound. Then I'd go to the yen pairs. Then I'd go to the fucking Swiss crosses. And don't get me wrong, I was honestly an incredibly impressive analyst, finding plays and finding opportunities. The money comes when you can bridge that gap between being the great analyst and being the great trader. Some people I know that are not naturally great analysts, they make for great fucking traders. And they have to learn the analysis and getting more accurate and all that stuff after. But they have the personality for taking the risk, seeing it, taking the chance, like kind of having a good intuitive directional bias and things like that. So figure out which one you are, the natural trader or the natural analyst, and you're going to have to develop the other side of that coin. You heard? And so if you guys want to talk about flesh wound, I'm in this group chat with everybody. People I respect, high profile people, 200 folks in this group chat, some of the biggest earners in the company, some big name traders, people I look up to. Lasaldo tags me in this shit and goes, yeah, you posting all these charts, but you're not making no money. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like these trades are slappers. He's like, yeah, if they're slappers, why are you not taking them? This is publicly. Now, you guys got to imagine, if someone said this stuff to me today, I got skin as thick as the Great Wall of China. Nothing can get through here, right? Do I allow it to sometimes because it makes for incredible YouTube content? Fuck yes. Somebody says something to me online. I open up the chink in the armor. Why? Because it's voluntary. That's how fucking crazy I am. I'll open up that chink in the armor a little bit. I'll let it graze me. Grazed, flesh wound. Just to get some little bit of blood going. So, just to get a little fire going. But I do pride myself on having thick skin. I don't really care. But back then, oof, I was a mess. I crumbled under that. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna quit trading. That's where my head was at. Stop posting in the group chat, stop being active. I got a call from Lou. He was like, where the fuck you been? I was like, bro, I'm not making no money. I'm wasting all this time doing this shit. I'm not making any money. This game sucks. Da, da, da. I was like, I think I'm just gonna quit trading. And he was like, bro, why are you being like that? Sat me down, showed me some of the things that he was looking at. He had 4 lines on the charts for a GBP pair. Let me see if I can find an example of what his shit looked like. What is this, GA or GU? GU? Perfect. Okay, his chart looked like 4 lines, equidistant. And this is actually how I started to develop the discount premium model, or at least my understanding of it. Okay, so he had his lows, highs, and then he had second zone, and then second zone, and then maybe one more. And the thing is, like, every zone was equal distance from the last one. They were all kind of like equal to each other. And then he was literally just trading from zone to zone. And like if it broke through, he would trade it to the next zone. And he was up something like $32,000 that week. And I was sick to my stomach, people. So why did I say all that? Because if you want to talk about sensitivity, if you want to talk about harsh things that have been said, you want to talk about things that kind of bruise egos, it comes in all different shapes and sizes. But something that simple and that impactful ended up waking me up to how simple trading should be. And it got me to eliminate all the indicators and all the different strategies and to reduce it down to what we now know as, the 88.6 model. It's how it all works over time. You either break under pressure or you build back stronger. And I want everyone to hashtag build back stronger. Calling me. Oh my God. And so it begins. All right, I came down here to the small to the 1 minute because I want to see this expansion. First off, CA members, please tell me you see the 1, you see the 2, and we're looking to scoop the 3 right now. Lord have mercy. On the 1 minute, Roy, there's no way. On the 1, what about this one? 1, 2, 3. Does not stop all day, every day. We hold this 18,280. I'm looking to take a long position here. Back up to the higher time frames because I ain't trying to getting caught. I do want to see a break back inside the zone. The reason for that being, if we look at this trade the way it is, we'll do a quick 3-to-1 here. It's about a 3-to-1 R for this trade. If I chase it, the 3-to-1 potential R goes to 1.8. So if you guys are risking $1,000, would you rather do it to make 3,200, or would you rather risk the $1,000 to make 1,800? Right? I'd rather make 3,200 than 1,800. It's a difference. If you're risking $100, you rather make 180, you rather make 320. Not even close. Gage saw it. He says KMB is the ticker if anyone's interested in investing in Kleenex. Wow. Wow. Roy, what's a realistic payout someone with your experience can expect every month? You can't expect the same thing every month, my friend. It's not about experience of someone like me. Your results are going to be determined, number one, by your strategy, the system. Okay? The strategy that we have is over 80% effective. Like you take 100 trades, 80 of them will win, 20 of them will lose. And I'm willing to bet it's much higher. All right, I'll let Ken get back to us with the final numbers. Number 3 is your discipline. Or sorry, number 2 is your discipline. Number 3 is impulse control, risk management strategy, and yeah, I guess potential market opportunities. Like if the market just don't present opportunities that month, what are you going to do? So if you have a great system, perfect. If the system is 90%, we're human. We're going to find a way to fuck that up and turn that to, let's say, 72%, which is phenomenal for a win rate if your risk and reward is this high for this strategy. So when you're asking me how much should I make a month, it's like someone in this chat is going to hit the 90, someone in this chat is going to hit the 80, someone's going to hit the 70, and someone's going to hit the 60. Everyone's going to have a different result. Now let's imagine that we have 10 traders that are all the exact same system, same let's say discipline, but the market does not provide us the opportunities, or this person's schedule doesn't allow him to be on the charts. You're going to get a completely different return on that. So instead, don't look at it from like what you can make a month. Look at every single trade that we call. Okay, so this is a 3-to-1. When we take partial profits, we typically capture half of whatever the real risk and reward is. So if the theoretical risk and reward is 3R, we're probably going to get 1.5R. Okay, so that means if you risked $1,000, let's assume that that is 1% of an account, and you made 1.5, that means you just made 1.5% on the trade. Make sense? So let's imagine that you took 4 trades in a month. If you win all 4, you're going to be up 6%. If you lose all 4, you're going to be down -4%. If you win 2, that's 3%. You lose 2, that's 2%. You'll still be positive for the month, 1%. And that's if you win half the trades. This is how you should be thinking about a system. Looking at the win rate, looking at the risk and reward, and playing out a scenario of 10 trades. Okay, let's look at 10 trades. What if I win all 10? What if I lose all 10? What if I do half and half? Win 5, lose 5. How does that look? Does that answer your question? He said, Mr. Teacup guy, an absolute GOAT. Yes, that's my brother for life. That's my OG. And just honestly, one of the best people I've ever met. So, yeah, nothing but great things to say about him. Yeah, we went to some fucking, don't ever have this place, by the way. I love, like me and Lou, we have one thing in common is great food. Every time I used to hang out, we would be traveling in like some random city somewhere. I wouldn't be traveling with him. Like I would be traveling and he'll be like, yo, I'm in the city, whatever. And we'll go hang out. It's some corner spot, like bodega type oxtail kind of situation. Very down to earth guy, regardless of how much money he has. Yesterday we went to some what was it, like Dominican sushi or some shit. First off, Dominicans, keep your fucking hands off the sushi. Got no fucking business making the sushis. All right, love y'all, love my Dominicans, not the sushi. Just wanted to throw that out there because of how impactful that was to my night yesterday. So he kept it simple. He always did. Teacup is the GOAT. What factors are driving the recent fluctuations in the market? Was wondering, for example, how far or how the war in Gaza affects the markets. All right, Firas, we got a good question here. I got some stimulation in my brain. I felt a little tingle somewhere in the prefrontal cortex. Felt something. Said, you must be a swing trader. No. Not sure how that came about. Oh, pretty close to entry here. All right, so Firas, war's not good. If it's a local war, which everybody wants to make the war in Gaza international because they're trying to get support for both sides, it's not an international war. That it's between 2 countries that most people couldn't find on a map. And even if you gave them the map with the names on them, they're too small to even point out. And I can say that because I'm Lebanese, and that Lebanon can't be found on the map either. Okay, just throwing that out there. So it is a local war, and as long as there's no escalations outside, there really isn't an effect on markets besides maybe even positive, because war is typically good for the American economy, and it's fucked up that that's how the markets react. And the rest of the world reacts similarly. They're like, oh, war is happening. Well, I guess the industrial complex is going to get paid. Northrop Grumman is going to get paid. General Dynamics is going to get paid. And those are all American companies listed on the stock exchanges that do well. Now, when it comes to the economy, the easiest way to explain it is if a conflict affects the borders outside of that region and it affects trade. By the way, guys, I'm on my phone here typing in this order, which is why I'm kind of chopping around. Let me show you how this would look from a paper trade. Small position first. If it breaks through the zone, you want to have ammo on the sidelines, folks. Small position first, always call it a tester. Okay? If it breaks through the zone, you want to be able to enter a better price so that you can load up a little bit larger of a position and get a better average entry price. Now, to get back to the answer for us. So imagine if the Houthis continue to escalate the conflict. Now that impacts trade between Asia and the rest of the world. You know, Africa getting around. There's an increase in pirate activity in some of those more dangerous regions going around Africa the long way to get to Europe. And so there's a lot of dangers here where supply chains are getting slowed down and they're getting more and more expensive. It's getting more expensive to ship goods around the world. Those two conflicts are mostly affecting Europe today. And so the US has been able to avoid a lot of those challenges. The biggest supply chain problem we've had in the past 3 years was COVID. You know, obviously we had sanctions against China, which did not make our lives easier. And we had a lot of the world closed down, shipping ports were closed down, so there wasn't a free flow of travel. So war leads to instability. It leads to potentially not being able to move goods around. And if that's the case, things get more expensive. So inflation directly related to supply chains. That's my take. Inflation, people. This is how war affects markets and affects the economy in general. But I do want to say I appreciate you, Firas, for a good question that gets my brain going. Yeah. Everybody else that just thinks I'm out here like just a monkey. Just, oh, give us trades, monkey. And you guys are just that's your perspective. I'm just like one of those circus acts with the hat, the little piano. Yeah, you got another thing coming. Ask good questions, learn from these streams, because one day they will be gone forever. The only way that you'll have access to them is through recordings. And I will have prayed that you guys took something away from this, as opposed to just showing up here every day for the entertainment. If you're here for entertainment, God help you. Because trading is not it. But also, I got to commend you because you have good taste. If you're here for entertainment, at the very end of the day, at least you know what funny is, and you know what insightful looks like. All right. I thought you were saying invest in Kleenex. You were talking about a prop firm. I realized you were saying the people who want to cry about it because Kleenex is a tissue company. Don't ever articulate my jokes like that again. All right? That just takes away all the magic. Damn. Don't we have to look at the left? This is a choppy zone. Crazy how your name is Big Banks. But that's exactly who is about to sweep your liquidity, my boy. He says BTC question mark. I'll go through Bitcoin later. Roy, any updates on the Chart Addicts hedge fund? No hedge fund launching. You guys got to understand how much work it is and how much sacrifice it takes. The issue with the prop firm space is everybody wanted the hedge fund lifestyle of going around and having affiliates and feeder funds and everything else, but without actually being a financial services company and without having the responsibility. Guys, if I started a hedge fund and you catch me out there partying on boats and using client money and client profits to not reinvest in the fund and make it more secure and stronger and to pay back the fund, but instead to spend it on material items and to spend it on shit that doesn't make any sense, I'm going to lose the fund pretty fucking quick. And so that's not the lifestyle that I want to engage in right now. I think after 32 years old, I'll be perfectly willing to open the fund. Now, things might change. We get our act together. Folks actually start to spread the Chart Addicts name. The company starts to grow, and we're really able to build a team that can just sustain the education side. And I can go focus on other ventures because I have my time freed up. That might happen way sooner. We're trying to create a place where everyone can just park their money and just trust that it's safe. The problem is that if we do this the shady way, like everybody else is doing with these offshore sort of funds, I would never expect anybody from our community to invest. Because if y'all have learned fucking anything from me, is I don't care how much you trust the person, the operations got to be done correctly. Right? So if I started a prop firm, no matter how much you guys like me and how good the strategy is, if I start a prop firm and there's some clear red flags, you should be basing your decisions off those red flags. Okay? And so the hedge funds, if I started it, it would be done 100% above board. Everything would be legit so that folks can park their money and trust that it's going to be there. There would be a lockup period, I think, of 3 years where you couldn't withdraw the funds, because if everybody withdraws halfway through a profitable trade and then just guts the entire fund, that doesn't work. So if we can do all that this year, I'm very happy to start entertaining the hedge fund idea. So tell a friend, long story short, tell a friend about Chart Addicts. Says my wife is Dominican. Okay. Yo, George, ask her if she knows fucking anything about sushi then. All right? Because what I experienced yesterday was unbelievable. So are you in DR? I'm here. No, hell, bro. You think they would have the Dominican sushi spot in the Dominican Republic? But it's on Miami. This is an American gimmick, my friend. He said the whites. They got to them. Imagine a bunch of Dominicans sitting around like, yo, I know what we should do. Let's take this pork belly and cheese and put it into a sushi. Bro, somebody's rolling in their grave. Just even me saying that. So I'm Dominican. We do not do sushi. Josh, I appreciate you for the confirmation there. Steve says the BTC halving, that is April 16th, right before we start on tour. All right, I got to run to the restroom. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, put them in the chats. If you don't have a question, ask yourself where you left your brain this morning. Is it still in bed? Because if you just have the whole world figured out, if you see all this stuff on the news and you understand every single thing down to the teeth, congratulations. That's not 99% of people, though. So ask good questions. You don't have any good questions, ask yourself why your brain's not working. Maybe it's the food, maybe it's the diet, maybe it's the information diet, watching too much social medias, not enough books. All right. When I come back, give me at least one good fucking question. If not, we end in the stream. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I heard the alert go off while I was in the restroom. What happened? Oh, US 30 alert. Wow. I gotta see a little bit more of a drop here. I want to see it go through the zones before buying it. I'll let somebody smarter than me with US 30 figure this one out. If anyone wants to send out their markups in the chats. They say focus on the business that pays you, or mind the business that pays you. And that's what I'm trying to do here with NASDAQ. I'm going to mind my business. But if anyone has an idea for that US 30, when a good price point that you're waiting on to start going long, the only thing I can tell you for sure is that I still have a bullish bias on US 30. That's a fact. That's true.
Yo, Roy, I'm in a small position on US 30 right now.
For longs?
Yeah, for longs, it hit Asia lows.
Yup.
Testing the waters.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. If anything, you'll get like the first push, and then it might just get like real nasty and then come close back above. But that's going to be like in like a 4-hour span. So you'll be able
Sounds
to
like
cash in
US
your
30.
profits and then potentially re-enter if it comes back.
Yeah.
Something like this. Cash out some partial profits, come back in for a retest, break, retest, go. Break the highs, break the lows, continue. I like that a lot. Very similar to what we're seeing here on NAS. So do you just use the news calendar? Okay, so the way I look at fundamentals is I try to narrow things down to biggest movers. Because basically, once I develop a bias, a directional bias for the next 3 months or 4 months, my life is so easy, right? So I didn't wake up this morning thinking if I was going to buy or sell NAS. 99% of my job was already figured out when I stepped on the charts this morning. Now it was just time to find structure and to keep trading the trend. So once you develop a bias based on those, let's say whether it's central bank policy or whether it's the fundamentals, like the actual data releases that came out, that's the most important. So that's what I try to look for when I look at the data releases is like, okay, is my bias still correct? No red flags, done, keep buying. It's that simple. So what I'll do is I'll actually give you guys the 3 big macro events that I'm watching right now. Number 1 is the Fed pivot. This is the potential for the Fed to start lowering rates again and to basically stimulate the economy back to where we were during the party days, the party era, the last 14 to 15 years of American history where interest rates were very low, the economy was unbelievably active, opportunities everywhere. Yeah. Opportunities everywhere. Everyone's looking to see when is the Fed going to pivot, which is why the Fed meetings have been so like they have not been as active from a markets perspective because a lot of people don't have a clear bias. They're just kind of waiting for Jerome Powell. Is it an emergency? No. Okay, keep buying. That's kind of been the sentiment. So the Fed pivot is a big one. The biggest one is the Bank of Japan. The Bank of Japan pivot. They've had negative interest rates while everybody else in the world has started to raise rates because of inflation. They have an inflation rate under 2% because their economy just won't grow. Prices don't go up when things just won't grow in your country. And they have a bunch of demographics issues as well as some cultural issues that have led to that collapse. But the Bank of Japan pivoting would be the biggest and most consequential event for the yen. And so, we've been buying UJ for about 3 years now. That would be time for us to start shorting UJ if the pivot happens. And this would be a swing trade of swing trades. Okay? We caught the European Central Bank pivot back in 2021 and shorted the EU, the euro versus the dollar all the way, all year, every retest. When you can find these higher time frame opportunities, all you have to do is just plug and play. In a bullish market, find areas of support and enter buys in the direction of the trend at support. In a bearish market, find resistance and enter sells at resistance in the direction of that trend. Determining the trend then becomes the most important key. BTC halving, that's April 16th. We talked about that. Roy, do you move stops to break even based on the structure? I move stops to break even based on my strategy. The strategy that we teach in the NAS100 class is not just like a, hey, here's where to find entries. No. Take your entries at this specific fib level. Take your profits at this fib level, this fib level, and this fib level. If you do that, you will be profitable across 10 trades. You take 10 trades, 7 of them are going to be winners, 3 might be losers. Do we know which 3 are going to be winners and losers? No. Right? There is a random distribution of winners and losers. But I know that if I keep trading the system, 7 are going to be wins and 3 will be losses. Okay, so we have the Fed pivot potentially going back to rate cuts, which is going to definitely be bullish for NASDAQ. Crazy bullish for NASDAQ. There's the Bank of Japan pivot, which is going to be crazy bearish for UJ. Right? It's going to be very bullish for the currency itself, for the yen currency. And then number 3, this is going to be, I think, one of the biggest fundamental events of the last few years is the live NAS100 masterclass on April 1st. Make sure to grab your seats in the description below or head directly to chartaddictsfx.com. Go to live classes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how that's done. Guys, can I get some luck? Imagine I just did the ad reads. I know I talked about this last time with the Sasquatch soap. Oh, you're still using your mom's soap. Right? Imagine I sat here and did goofy ad reads like that. This platform is the best platform to use. I'm out here looking like a Blink Twice commercial. Like I have a gun to my head just reading these ad reads. I could do that, or I can be fucking hilarious. That one was not planned, but my God, it fit like a glove. Like, oh, this is my first time on this stream. Is this guy Roy really giving himself credit for what he is he patting himself on the back? That's exactly what is happening in front of you, people. That literally just happened in front of you. You are a witness to that. Do I think gold will reach all-time highs today? I don't play that game. I do not play that game. I don't know if it's going to break the highs or not, or if it's going to make a double top and drop. If I have to assume, I would say it gets up to a double top and then starts to reject. But then again, not sure. What I would tell you is if you find a discount entry for buys and you think it's going to break all-time highs, then just don't close the trade. What's more important for us as traders is the entry. If you can figure out where to enter, then there's no promises about how far the market will go in your favor. Okay, it feels like it'll go forever when you're in a trade. As soon as you're profitable, you're like, yeah, I could close it, but what if it keeps going? The truth is we don't know, and so plan accordingly. If the market was to reverse on you right now in a second, would you be happy with the decisions you've made up until now to secure partials, to protect the trade, etc.? The answer is no. You better get moving. Yeah, better get moving. Oh, the entry was good. The entry was rock solid. What is happening with Russia asking to cut oil supply with OPEC? Oh, a real question. Oh my God. Guys, look. A real question. Said, Mom, call your neighbors, everybody. I've been in the trade for 3 days. I know there's no telling. I wanted to hear your thoughts. Oof. All right, in that case, let me show you this. Super secret magnet indicator. Can't find it anywhere else. We're headed towards the next magnet right now. Now, look, if you're already in the trade, why does it matter? Because I'm assuming if you've been in the trade for a few days, then you got in anywhere in this area. So like whether it stays here or whether it gets here or whether it gets here, you should already be in profits. You should already have a system to take money off the table that regardless of what it does, you're making money. If you're relying on this move in order to make all your money, then I'm sorry, Gabby. That is it. That ain't how this game works. Because you could be in, let's say, $700 in profits right here. And you're like, all right, we're moving up. Once it gets here, I'll make $1,200. Maybe it's gonna get so close and then just reverse all the way down. You can't play that game. If you're in profits on a swing trade after 3 days, holding that thing, take enough off the table that you're comfortable with. So like if this trade was to reverse on me, how much of this would I have wished I would have closed? Kind of situation. Make that choice. That way, if it does reverse, you made the perfect choice. If it doesn't reverse, perfect. You're still holding a piece and it can keep running in your favor and keep milking and making you money. Cool. Okay. Russia asking to cut supply, oil supply. See what news we got. Russia orders companies to cut oil output to meet OPEC target. Okay, so the way that they set targets is that in order for prices of oil to remain stable, everybody has to promise not to oversupply the market because that drops prices and that hurts economies. So Russia is basically just asking the other member countries to cut their supply or to cut their output because it's hurting the price of oil in order to meet the target that OPEC Plus, which is the group of oil producing countries, this like conglomerate of oil producing countries had put together. Now, why would Russia want to do this? Well, because we've been funding their war with these high oil prices. And that's exactly what they want, is to keep the price of oil higher. If other countries are oversupplying the market, it brings gas prices down, which hurts Russia's profitability. So this is just more like Russia orders companies to cut oil output. So they're ordering Russian companies. 9 million barrels a day. Like, what? Okay. Smart. Okay, smart. So the only way for them to make money is to take the Russian oil and to send it outside of their borders to sell for way more money. And so when you're trying to reduce supply to hit OPEC targets, you typically reduce the amount of exports that you're providing to markets. What Putin's doing is basically he's saying, nah, we need the exports because they're paying us double what it costs to make the stuff. And so we're making serious money. But instead, what we'll do is we'll just cut the production or we'll reduce the local production of this oil so that we just don't have as much to export. Smart move. Overall, I think that they're just trying to protect the money flow that they've been taking advantage of since the war started. Yeah, has anyone heard the new Kendrick song where he was dissing everybody? But tell me that you guys know the ad lib that I'm talking about in the end. Dude, it's stuck in my head. I can't even listen to the song anymore. And no, I'm not going to make the sound because I have a little bit of self-respect, and that just would not be the one. He's going to tell you to do your own research on brokers, and wow, arguably the most intelligible thing that's ever been said ever in the YouTube comments on any day in any stream ever. I have my last position running, 2174. I've taken partials. Don't worry. All right, good stuff. Man, I wasn't even worried about you. I knew you were going to do the right thing, but it's important to realize that we can't control the second half of the equation, which is, all right, now I'm in the trade. What do I do? Nothing. Like the market is going to tell us what to do. I'm here. Yes, sir. No, sir. Whatever the market wants, and I'm going to react accordingly. It says registration is closed for the masterclass. Hold on. Don't say that. Registration is closed. Yo, are you? All right. Well, sorry about that, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna catch you guys later. I gotta meet with the team here. Happy and safe trading, trades and profit. Congratulations if you took it. If you didn't take the trade, I'll catch you guys live tomorrow morning for the last stream. Anyone that wanted to get into the masterclass, I'm sorry about that registration error. Give us 20 minutes. This should be fixed up. So check back in 20 and we'll send out a link to everyone whenever this is ready to go. Okay. I appreciate all of you guys for showing up today. Happy and safe trading. Take it easy. Peace.